If you attack the United States of America, we will hunt you down and we will find you. Go all over this sometimes magnificent earth. We will crush you without mercy and we will triumph without question.
Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakarkwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect. All right, so this is Daniel 7:20. And of the 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came up, and before whom 3 fell, even of that horn that had eyes, and a mouth that spake very great things, whose look was more stout than his fellows. Okay, this is the American, power structure, man. All right, Trump being the face of it currently. All right, that look being more stout than his fellows, man. All right, and when you go into that word stout, just gonna get it in the Webster. Go to the word stout, to be bold, brave, firm, determined, okay, uncompromising, because America is uncompromising amongst the nations. All right, America plays Big Brother. Everybody answers to them. That's why they'll slap sanctions on you, and and tell you who you can and can't do business with. They'll put boots on the ground. They'll bomb you. They'll set up garrisons or what you know is a military base in your land to have absolute power over you, your people, and your resources. All right. Physically or materially strong, sturdy. All right. To be vigorous. All right. Going to that word vigorous, done with vigor, carried out forcefully and energetically. America carries everything out forcefully. When you look at these peace talks and these treaties, all this paperwork they do, it all, fails. All right, because America don't know the way of peace. All right, matter of fact, let me grab that. Maybe that's in the Psalms. Oh no, it's in Isaiah. Isaiah 59:8. The way of peace they know not, and there is no judgment in their goings. They have made them crooked paths. Whosoever goeth therein shall not know peace. And this is Esau. All right, his blessing is the sword. All right, the way of peace he know not. All right, so going into that word vigorous. All right, handling everything forcefully. That's what he does with his military, man. All right, because that's the only way he knows how to function. All right. Revelation 6:4, and there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. That great sword is his military. His bombs, his guns, his grenades, mustard gas, IEDs, whatever he has, man. Landmines, all that. That's the great sword that was given to him. And, you go back to Genesis. I'm not going to grab it, but that was his blessing from the beginning. The sword. It's how he handled business. Even you go back to Cain. When Cain gave the wrong sacrifice and Abel, being the righteous, gave the correct sacrifice, he pursued him with the sword. He didn't go to Abel and say, well, teach me this, man. Let's guide me in the right way. He just, was enraged and slayed Abel, man. So even from Cain to Esau, today it's the same thing with the sword. All right. And they use this sword in their pursuit of the righteous. You Israelites, you Negro, Latino, Native, Seminole, Indian are the elect of the nation of Israel. All right, they pursue the Israelites with the sword. All right, but also the other nations. This is how he has conquered, man. All right. By the sword. Matter of fact, I am going to get it. Let me go to the blue letter, because it says, by the sword shalt thou live. And it's just a means of survival, man. That's how he survives. Through that blessing of the sword. Where's it at? It's like it's in 27. Yeah. Genesis 27:39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven from above. And that's what he has now, the fatness of the earth. All right. It says, and by the sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off his neck. Now, when you go into thou shalt live by the sword, all right, so you go to thou shalt live. It says to live, have life, remain alive, sustain life, okay, live prosperously. That's how he's living prosperously, through the sword. And this is why he has, this stout look more stout than his fellows, because he feels as though he can't be touched. Because everything that he's gained has been through war. So he has confidence in his violence, all right, to live prosperously, to be quickened, all right, be alive, be restored to life or health, to preserve alive, all right, basically, to restore to life, to cause to grow, to restore, to revive. Basically, this is his means of survival. And this being his means of survival for this long is why he has gotten so confident in the sword. And that's why his look is more stout than his fellows, man. All right. This guy has a total disregard for every other nation on the world. Not that these nations really matter, you heathen nations, but, once again, this is that stout look. And that video just reminded me, it made the scripture pop in my head, about this guy and his violence, man. All right. To be brave, going back to the word stout, brave, bold, firm, determined, uncompromising, all right, which means not making or accepting a compromise, making no concession, all right, to be adamant, hard-nosed, bullheaded, hard-headed, immovable, inflexible. It says self-opinionated, stubborn, stiff-necked, self-willed, unbending, unrelenting, unyielding. These are all words that are synonymous with the American government, man, and how they move amongst the nations. They are all these things, man. And this is going to come to a head because these people are sick and tired. When I say these people, I mean these nations are sick and tired of dealing with this guy, man. All right. Habakkuk 2 and Habakkuk 2 and 6. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. Him that increases that which is not his. How? Through the sword. All right. Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them? All right. Spoils of war. Says, because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land and of the city and of all that dwell therein. All right. So because you have spoiled many nations, these nations are going to eventually spoil you, man. You know, this pride, you know, scripture say pride comes before the fall. This pride, all right, this stout look that he has amongst the nations is eventually going to come back and bite him in the ass, man. All right, now this is some type of remembrance of 9/11, you know, the attack on the Twin Towers, you know, and he's, you know, threatening the nations, man. You know, you would think this memorial, which, you know, who cares, man, but this memorial would be like, you know, we're remembering fallen soldiers, and, you know, this one and that one died, and, you know, maybe they will have the families of these people come up, which I'm not sure. Maybe he did. I didn't watch the whole interview, just that clip. But, you know, you would think that's what would be presented here, not, you know, basically the next one of y'all that fuck with us, you know what it is. We coming to get you. Ain't nowhere you can hide on this what do you say, this beautiful earth or some shit like that, man. You know, but this man is the poster child for the spirit of America, man. Of the Edomites that run America. And like I said, man, eventually, as we know, the prophecies of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, eventually this place is going to go into war because of this attitude, man. Just like you seen my man Vladimir Putin, I think it was Kim Jong-un and Xi Jinping, which is the president, emperor, whatever of China. You know, they come together and do their little parade, which was like a remembrance of, you know, however many years of World War II, you know. It's a parade, military parade and remembrance. Next day, Donald Trump changed the Department of Defense to the Department of War, basically letting them know we ready. You know, that was a shot at them. You know, this Department of War, we ready for y'all. A look more stout than his fellows, man. All right, that uncompromising, bold, brave, you know, type of deal. Violent, you know. It says obstinate. All right, let's see what that means. Obstinate, stubbornly adhering to an opinion, purpose, or course in spite of reason, arguments, or persuasion. Not easily subdued, remedied, or removed. See? These words perfectly describe or are synonymous with the spirit of the American leadership, man. Trump being, you know, the head of that, man. You know, being bullheaded. All right, bullheaded meaning stupidly stubborn. Stupidly stubborn, man. Because it's not like back in the day where these nations can be easily subdued by America. They got all the weapons you got. Russia got the most nukes on the planet. China showing a damn new robotic weapon, something that could fuck you up every week. You're stupidly stubborn, man. All right. And once again, man, it's gonna come to a head, man. All right. All this, and this is before any fight. You ever seen somebody fight? What happens before the fight? Everybody talking shit. I do this to you. I do that to you. You don't want to see me. You know how Jake is, amongst each other. You know. Revelation 11 and 14, the second woe was past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. All right, you're seeing the makings of World War III happening every day. Every day is something. Somebody's saying something. Somebody's disagreeing with somebody. We talked about peace, but they're still doing this, that, and the third. We're sick of the sanctions. You know, they formed the BRIC nations to try to with the goal of is to the American dollar out of international trade amongst those people on the eastern part of the world. This is what is happening. And this is the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, man. All right, so the third woe cometh quickly. You know, pretty soon America, all right, is going to get nuked by these other nations. They don't just have these weapons for no reason. They're not flaunting these weapons. They're showing the West, as they call it over there, they're showing the West we have the capability to compete with you militarily. And Trump having that look that's more stout than his fellows, all right, ain't bagging down, being stupidly stubborn, all right, bullheaded. And yeah, I mean, eventually it's going to turn into World War III. Excuse me. But I ain't going to hold you. I hope that video was edifying. Shalom.